seeing the pressure, because I know, remember you told me one time the pressure got to my dad that I think he said that his head started hurting.
His head hurting. My uncle said that he got to a point where he asked my uncle to lend him some money, but he was so pressured with the bills and everything that I think his it wasn't paralyzed. It wasn't paralyzed. I forgot what it was. What it affected him physically. Physically.
How's it going, everyone? Welcome back to another episode of Driven. In today's episode, we're going to be discussing how sometimes you really just need to hit rock bottom.
Yep. And for those that don't know us, my name is Juan. This is my brother Alexis. And together in 2019, we started a business that currently does a little over $3 million a year in annual revenue, and it's increasing. And then, at least up to that point, I feel like we have an understanding of what we're doing and talking about.
Yeah. Hi, mentioned. The reason why I'm bringing this topic up is because for us, we have quite a bit of years of experience in business, and we've dealt with a lot of people. I think we hired over 20 something.
I would say now even in the 30s to 50 people.
Yeah. So it's been quite a bit of people.
And that's like total. Right now, currently we're a team of 13. Increasing to 14.
Yeah, so people come and go.
Yeah.
Some people stay. We have our core people that have been with us for a while. A long time. But yeah, so we've seen a lot of people come and go, different personalities, and really some people, we notice that some people, they react different to wanting to improve.
Yep.
Some people, they have the motivation. I would include ourselves.
Yeah.
Maybe it grew as we, continued business. It grew to where we didn't need external motivation, or we don't need anything. We just know exactly what to do and we make it happen.
Yeah.
But some people, they have that motivation. Other people, how you mentioned, through appreciation, recognition, you recognize them and they want to continue improving for that recognition. And then other people, how we've noticed is that nothing works. You motivate them, you give them a goal, you give them a clear path to, okay, if you do these tasks, then you're going to increase, you're going to succeed, but nothing happens. You praise them, you give them motivation, you give them recognition, they win Employee of the Month.
Yeah.
They do good for a bit, they go back to their old way, so nothing happens. So that's why, for me, my opinion, I honestly think that some people need to hit rock bottom, meaning that they need some type of pain for them to continue to improve or for them to succeed. Because in a way, that kind of happened to us in the beginning, remember?
Yeah.
When we first started the business, we didn't have any money.
Nope.
We would see our parents struggling. Granted, I know that we always had roof and shelter and food, but we didn't have that extra money. We would see them sometimes taking out loans.
Yeah, and I vividly remember this. And just for context, we always had, like how you said, food and shelter, but we also lived in South LA, but essentially by the 110 Figueroa Street, and Slauson, Gage, Florence, that area. Yep. And so if you guys know, you guys know. But like how you said, and I remember this vividly. My dad, well, we used to get loans, right? And one of the crazy things my parents got to a point where my dad went to La Curacao, got a gold chain on credit, and then from there went to go pawn it to get cash money. So it's kind of, and that, I remember that, and it's like, fuck, they went down. My parents, they were struggling to that point where they had to get, they had to go to La Curacao to get a gold chain on financing a gold chain. And then he went to go pawn it, which they gave him less than what it's worth, to get cash.
Yep.
And so I still remember that vividly. And like how you mentioned, it was through my parents' struggles that, and seeing that, and to a point, maybe experiencing it too. Yeah. It really, really, would you say it was a rock bottom?
I wouldn't say it's a rock bottom, but it was a painful experience. Not extremely. Necessarily for us, but seeing the pressure. Because I know, remember you told me one time the pressure got to my dad that I think he said that his head started hurting.
His head hurting. My uncle said that he got to a point where he asked my uncle to lend him some money, but he was so pressured with the bills and everything that I think his it wasn't paralyzed. It wasn't paralyzed. I forgot what it was. What it affected him physically.
Mm-hmm.
Physically.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so for us, it wasn't necessarily the goal. Fuck, like let's become rich. Let's get rich to buy a Lamborghini, to buy this and that, to go party, to freaking buy expensive clothes. It was the pain, and it was the seeing our parents struggle, to us realizing and thinking, damn, we gotta provide back for them. We gotta give them everything. Dude, they came to another country, completely new. They left friends, family, to essentially give us a better life.
Yeah.
How they knew best.
No, definitely, and in the now, they don't have to think about money ever again. They won't. They won't think about it. They won't struggle with money. They won't have to think about the bills, because that's our responsibility.
100%.
And it feels good.
Yep.
It generally feels good knowing that they're not gonna worry about any bills, any finance stuff, and they're not gonna have to worry about it. They're I would say they're good right now.
Mm-hmm.
They're good in that sense. Mm-hmm. But definitely that was a pain point for us, and I think that's why throughout right out of high school, all we did and all we tried to do and everything was with the goal of retiring them. Mm-hmm. And because I think that was so painful because I saw that. You saw that. We both saw that.
Yep.
It's just there was really nothing else that we thought of. We didn't think, I want to be in this career because I like it. You weren't thinking of like, it was everything, the thoughts, actions was to retire my parents. Mm-hmm. And because that was such a strong pain point for us. Mm-hmm. It wasn't like how you said rock bottom, but it was that painful. And like how you said, it kind of is true that some people do need that pain.
Yeah, because some people that acquaintances, friends, people that I work with, people that I've seen, nothing works for them. Like I mentioned, motivation doesn't work for them. They have a clear goal. If you perform a certain way for several months, then you're gonna get a promotion, raise, whatever. You're gonna go to a manager, a senior manager, X, Y, and Z. Mm-hmm. On the other hand, how you mentioned that some people do like praise, and because they want to be recognized, they push themselves. But then at the same time, I've seen that how I mentioned that for some people that doesn't work. Mm-hmm. They get sick, and not like a cold, but like something happens to them, high blood pressure. Mm-hmm. What else? Something that affects you. Cancer,
high blood pressure, diabetes,
liver disease, where you need to get. So people get sick, their family members or they themselves get sick, nothing happens. Mm-hmm. They're about to start a family, they get married, they have more responsibilities taking care of maybe their wife, nothing happens. They have kids, they start a family, nothing happens. And so we've seen that, day in, day out. And I think to a great extent, the reason why, again, nothing changes is because it's not painful enough. Mm-hmm. And that's why I honestly do believe that sometimes you do need to hit rock bottom. So, for example, someone who's overweight, someone who's 200 pounds, I mean, if I'm almost there. Yeah. I'm almost there. I'm 170. And you've seen me, no?
Yeah, you got to in the 180s, huh?
Yeah, I got to the 180s. And so, I mean, I still haven't decided to. I kind of do want to decide to lose weight, but I'm comfortable. Mm-hmm. And so maybe it might take me to reach 300 pounds.
Maybe you go to the doctor and they tell you they have high blood pressure and that if it keeps going like that, the expectancy of someone that has that. And that might motivate you.
Yeah. So it's me. Yeah, exactly. Me going to the doctor and the doctor tells me, dude, you're fat. Mm-hmm. You have high blood pressure, your kidneys are failing, you have diabetes, you have all these things. We're probably gonna have to chop off your leg. Yeah. And if you don't change anything, then you're probably gonna die in 2-3 years, 4 years. Mm-hmm. And so that's gonna be like, fuck, I gotta change something. And maybe that's what it takes for people to change. Yeah. Or I don't know what your opinions on.
No, definitely. I 100% agree with it. And one of the things that you were talking that I'm like, thought about was that it's also in the way that you view that pain. Like if it's painful to you, then you're going to take action, because I feel like some people were in similar shoes with their parents and with us, but there's, they don't take the action that we took. Mm-hmm. And so, but I think it's also in the way that you view it, that whatever that pain is. Maybe, for example, and I've seen this story or this, in a sense, story online a lot, where they wanted to prove people wrong, where they wanted They wanted to prove people wrong.
Yeah.
They told them they couldn't do anything, and they wanted to prove them wrong.
They were called losers.
They're losers. You know, the embarrassments, all the thoughts that went through it, and that was such motivation. That was so painful that they actually took the action. If someone told, and now I don't really care what people tell me. Back then, I'm like, yeah. I mean, I would feel bad, but would have that been a pain? Like, I'm like, I know what I am, and I mean, you could tell me, but it does hurt, but it's not painful enough.
Yep.
Yeah, and so I think it is also in the way that
the things you value that are painful that you don't want to lose.
Some people, they are maybe close to, like Patrice O'Neal, the comedian. I don't know if you know him.
No.
He was overweight and he was diabetic, and they told him that, you know, he should stop eating in the way that he does, and I think he did get better, but I think it wasn't painful enough. Like, he was gonna die soon, but I don't think it was painful enough. And not that, I mean, he tried. I think from what some of the videos that I've seen, he tried, but it wasn't to the point where he made a full 180. It's like, you know, you just enjoy it so much that it's not painful enough, and if you die, you die. So that wasn't of value to him. Maybe something else would have been, you know. But it's in the what you value. Like, if that pain is painful enough for you to take action. And so I think it is different for different people.
100%. Yeah, it's gonna vary from people, from person to person. Yeah, but kind of a question you had, because I know we were kind of discussing it, but we kind of not decided. But again, if your own life, not that, you know, people's life are not important, but if you don't, it's not a pain factor for you, your own life, your children's life, your wife, your husband, your partner's life, your family, then what else is? And so that's why we were kind of discussing back and forth that maybe some people have it, some people don't.
It's true. Some people are okay with hitting rock bottom and staying there. Yeah. And I mean, and I know that I mentioned maybe people like in downtown LA, or actually they're almost there, as in
Skid Row.
You know, homeless people. They're essentially everywhere, and I would think that that's rock bottom. But I know that you mentioned that maybe they've also, you know, veterans where they have PTSD, where they have maybe some type of mental illness, maybe some type of
where they're not even functioning and in their mind correctly.
Yeah, and so drug addicts, you know, you could say you just stop, right? Which I understand, but then I also, I mean, and I could, it's just that I don't want to, right? Like Diet Coke, it's technically not a drug, but I'm like, I want to, like, and that's just Diet Coke, right? So imagine something that is addicting, like genuinely addicting. So I understand that, and yeah, I understand where it could be physical, where if you stop taking it, you know, you get physical, like, what do you call it, withdrawals. It starts physically affecting you. And I forgot what it was, but if you're addicted and you continuously consume it, and if you stop cold turkey, you could die. There was something.
I know alcohol.
Alcohol?
Yeah, because I forgot what it was called, but there are some people that drink every day and night. They stop cold turkey and they start shaking, and then I think their body starts shutting down because they need the alcohol to survive. But I could be wrong. Alcohol's one. Yeah. No, but I get it. If you stop cold turkey, but kind of where I'm going with this is that there are different ways to achieve what you want. For some people, it's motivation. For us, I mean, no one needs to motivate us. It's just we do what we do because we do it.
Yeah, and even when we, let's say, accomplish our goals that we set out early on in life, which I think to an extent we have.
Yeah.
But why
are we still going?
I think it's just through just doing it through. It is the journey.
It is 100%.
It is the journey.
Which you could argue that it's the facing the challenges every single day.
Yeah.
That's one thing you could argue.
Yeah, and the fact that, you know, there's always issues, there's always problems. And in all honesty, I haven't had the feeling of sad other than when our dog passed away. Yeah. In like over a decade. Yeah. No feeling of like sad or anything like that. And it's just because of the constant just challenges and then that's gonna get into another topic. Which, you know, like why so much people are depressed nowadays is because they're too comfortable. They have nothing. I think innately we're innately built to solve problems, but when we don't have that, you know, because of the past. But
I was gonna say that you could also become comfortable being uncomfortable. You could become comfortable struggling. Where For how many years did we share one bedroom apartment with my parents?
20 years.
20 years. That became the norm.
Yeah.
Now it's a little bit harder to go back.
Yeah. Let's just assume like it was just back us four, right? But having experience like just being independent per se, even in our own rooms, right?
Yeah, having the little.
It would be extremely hard to go back, and I think, and that's one of the things I've also realized, that people go or work from or think from their reference points.
Yeah.
They anything below that, like what they've experienced, it's like you're not able to do, you can't do per se, but because their reference point is up here and they go like from here and up, and that's why we got comfortable, and that's why also like we also come from the perspective of someone in our situation back then, but that's beyond the point.
No, it's doable. It's doable. I mean, I mean, that's gonna go off into a tangent, but what I was trying to point across, or have my point, or what I was trying to say is that some of the ways you're gonna achieve your goals is through motivation, is through praise and recognition, where some people just like the validation. They don't necessarily want to reach the destination, but they like the praise along the way. And then the thing that's going to be most effective, I think, if those two aren't going to hit home with you, something painful is, which sometimes you have to create that pain yourself, and you have to hit rock bottom. For example, if you grew up in a middle class family where everything was given to you, maybe you weren't rich, but you weren't poor, you didn't struggle, you had your own room, you had everything, you had whatever. So you had that. You didn't have any struggles. Maybe when you were 16, 17, your parents bought you a car. You go to college, everything is paid for. You don't have to work. Really, there's no motivation there. So for some people that do want that extra goal, but it's not in them to get motivated and to try to achieve that, sometimes you have to create your own struggles. You have to create your own rock bottom. Move out of your parents' house. Go get a job. I think the easiest one is moving out.
Yeah, because I remember we talked about it with someone. I don't know if you remember. We were talking about that with someone, where you do have to kind of create that own pain. Yeah. It was, I remember vividly.
I know when we used to work in insurance, they used to call it burning your bridges.
Yeah.
That's one analogy. There's other analogies. You're always going to have a dog biting at your ass. You're always going to move. For some people, if you had a weapon in your head and they told you had to make $10,000, you're going to try your damn best to make those $10,000. But where I'm getting at is that sometimes if you're comfortable, if you don't have the motivation, if you try something but you always give up, it's just creating those environments where you're going to have challenges. And how you mentioned, I think it's innate in us to seek those challenges and to solve them.
No, definitely, because I think we were hardwired like that for thousands of years, for a very long time. And I think nowadays, we're even complaining about air conditioning, about the heater doesn't work, about the heating, like things like that, like such privilege. And I don't mean it. And I'm not going on a tangent, but
but I think it's true, because I think it was you who mentioned that someone said, I don't know who, paraphrasing, but someone said that if you live in the United States.
Yeah, so it was Jordan Peterson. I remember him saying that if you live in the United States, you already in the top 1% of the 1% in terms of like wealth and let's say comfortableness, for the lack of better wording, in the history of humanity. If you live in the United States right now, you live better than some of the royalty did in the past. And it's true.
Yeah, they didn't have electricity, they didn't have heaters, they didn't have air conditioning.
Nope. You have food, even if like, let's say there are programs where you can get food. There are churches where we've seen that they give out food. So you live better than you're in the top 1% of the 1%. And in terms of being comfortable in the history of humankind, it's the best time to be alive. Yeah. 100%. And I'm glad we're in it.
Yep. Which that's going to go into other tangents, because I know that because we don't have those real struggles of finding our food, then we create struggles of the air conditioning, the heater, and then other problems that are kind of...
No, definitely. So like how you said, like I think we do... Well, it depends on the person, but definitely creating those struggles, creating those pain points, I think is going to be something. If you're maybe the type of person that maybe doesn't, doesn't have that motivation or doesn't go out and take action, maybe creating that that own pain.
Mm-hmm.
Because for us, it was our parents.
Yeah.
It was our parents. Because if we've talked about it in the past, and imagine we don't have that, where my parents were comfortable.
Mm-hmm.
Like, what would we have been doing? I remember you said that, probably video games.
Video games, cars.
Cars. Yeah, things that we liked.
Soccer.
Yeah, things that we liked.
Yeah.
So if you don't, if you don't have that, I think that's a great motivator if you create your own pain points.
Yeah, because I think that moves almost everyone.
Mm-hmm.
That's going to move. Let's just say there's 3 categories: motivation, praise, and pain. Pain is going to move everyone. But then for the people that don't have the motivation or don't care about praise,
Mm-hmm.
the only thing that's going to hit home is the pain.
Mm-hmm. No,
Because
definitely.
even for us right now, if something, we lose everything, there's going to be a dog biting at our ass and it's going to push us. We're going to work 16-hour days, 18-hour days like nothing. And it's because there's a dog biting at our ass.
Yeah. No, definitely.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, other than that, if some people do need to hit rock bottom, do need to hit that pain where it gets them going, like we've kind of briefly mentioned, some people, I think very few, a very rare population of the people, very minor, maybe don't have it. But I think in general that is the case, where pain does get you going and does get you motivated. And then if you don't have, let's say, those big pain points where it actually gets you moving, maybe creating those.
Yep.
And I think you can.
Yep.
You can create those pain points. You're comfortable, move out. Just without, like people that move from like Mexico to the US, it'll get you going.
Yeah.
Because the other options are not good. If you don't,
Yep.
let's say, succeed per se.
Yeah.
But yeah, do you have anything else to add?
No, that's pretty much it.
Yeah. I mean, but other than that, I don't have anything else to add. You don't have anything else to add. So, with that being said, this has been another episode of Driven. My name is Juan.
My name is Alexis.
And we'll see you on the next one.